Alright, so let's make the essay game. To start with, I'm going to just copy my code from greeter.py. It's not a bad idea to start a program this way. So, what do I need? I need a button that, well, I need a label that says essay idle game. So let's change this, instead of what is your name, to say essay idle game. I'm going to get rid of this background color. And I'm going to change it so that the font is in Arial, Arial, and is in size 30. Keep in mind that this is part of the same line. If it helps you, you can just plonk this underneath. It doesn't really matter, it can be in the same line. What else do I need? I need a button that says, I can't remember my buttons. Let me double check. All right, I need a button that says write a word. And I'll call this write button clicked, I suppose. There you go, write button. There you go. Oh, there you go. I'll put that underneath. It doesn't really matter, it can be on the same line. So when I click the right button, it'll run right button clicked, which will be this thing. And when I do that, I want to, well, first of all, let's just check that this works. Let's just pop up a message box saying hello. And then write button.pack here, because when I make a button, I have to pack the button. Py essaygame.py. Beautiful! It has a button, and the button says hello. I don't need this entry here, so I'll get rid of that entry. So I got my first button. I'll also need buttons for some other things. I will need a button to copy and paste. Copy, paste button. The idea is that, autocomplete, that's handy. People can just copy and paste an essay from the internet, and there's a chance that they'll get caught cheating and then they'll have to start again. So the text here will be copy, paste from internet. Oh, what is this? Copy, paste from internet. I might move this across a bit. There we go. There we go. You can keep it the way it was before, but this will help me write things just on one line. This is a very long line, so it won't fit, so I will actually put this one underneath. There we go. Copy paste button equals button. When I run it, it does copy paste clicked, so let's make a thing saying, or a function that is called, I should say, copy paste button clicked. Oops. And when I click it, copy paste. And then this one, write word. I will also need buttons to sell an essay. Sell essay button clicked. There we go. So copy paste button is this one. Copy paste pack. Sell essay button. And sell essay button packed. And when I click on it, it runs sell essay button clicked. And what else? The last button I'll need is to hire a ghostwriter, someone to write things for us. The ghostwriter button would be, we'll just call it hire button, so it's not too long. And I need to pack it, and when I click on it, it'll do hire button clicked. The text for this thing will be hire ghostwriter, and that will cost $100. And this one will be to sell essay. Yeah. And now I need a thing up here called hire button clicked. Hire, sell. I'm just changing these so that it will be easier to see if this thing is working. Write a word, write word, good. Copy paste for internet, copy paste for internet. Sell an essay, hire ghostwriter. Okay, so I need to keep track of the number of words that people have written. So I'm going to make a global variable, and that global variable will be called words. And that will initially be 0. So this is initializing the variable to 0. I'll also need one called money, which will also be 0. When you write a word, what I want to do is set words to be words plus 1. But I have made a mistake. This words here should refer to the global variable called words. Currently I'm in a function, and if I want to use a global variable, then I should say global words. That means that this will change this variable here, rather than making its own temporary variable inside this function. I don't need to pop up this message box anymore. Maybe I will print words to check that it is working. All right, write a word. Beautiful, it is adding one to it successfully. Okay, now I need to actually update the label, because there will be a label here. I need to make the label. Underneath this intro label, I will make a words label. And I'll just copy this code. It's a message. Let's make it a message label. Doesn't really matter. I'll make it a label. Message and label are very, very, very similar. Call this words label. Initially it'll be 0 words, and I'll just do it with whatever the default font is. Yay, 0 words. But I want it so when I click the button, it updates that label. One way to do this is to make a method called update labels. And the reason I'm making this a method or a function, same thing, is because I'm going to run this a lot of times. I'm going to run this whenever I pretty much do anything. Whenever I click any of the buttons, I want to update the label. So what I need to do is set words label. The content of this label I need to set to be words plus words. Oops, words. The reason I need to convert it to a string here is because if I just did this, it is trying to add an integer to a string. And that is verboten. You can't do that. So I convert to a string. So now this is a string and this is a string, so it can do them together. You know, can squish them together, concatenate them. Oops, I forgot to actually call this method. To call this method, I probably don't need that print statement anymore. To call this method, I write the name of the method, or function, same thing, and put bracket bracket at the end. Sweet. Okay, good. Now I want to be able to copy and paste from the internet. That is a tricky one. I would like it so that when I do this, there's a 20% chance of the teacher catching you. Realistically, it's a lot more. I mean, we've got Turnitin, we've got all sorts of stuff. So let's get a random number and then print it, just to check that works. I'll give you a hint, this won't actually work. What was that, this one? It will throw an error and it says random is not defined. The reason is that up here, I need to import the random library. And in fact, I'm going to, from random imports, I'm going to import everything from the random library. Cool. Random will print random numbers from 0 to 1, right? So it'll print a decimal or a float, more accurately, from 0 to 1. So if I want to do something with a 20% chance, I can check if that's less than or equal to 0.20. So this will only run, there's a 20% chance of this happening. Print wee. Otherwise, print woo. Alright, so I should get some wees and a lot of woos. I'll click it a few times. On yours, this will probably update as you click on it, but mine is a bit silly, so I need to actually close it. Oh, awesome. 1, 2, 3 wees, I think. Yeah, 3 wees and a lot of woos. Yeah, that's maybe about 20%. So if that happens, I want to pop up a message box. Message box.show info. Show warning. Yeah, that looks more dire. Caught. Haha. The teacher caught you plagiarizing. Naughty. Now you have to start again. Bobo. This teacher must be really nice because they're not giving you 0. Okay. I need to also reset words to be 0. Now, it is tempting to just do this. But words is a global variable. Words was declared up here. So I should have done global words. If you are ever using a variable that you have defined globally, outside of a function, you must say global and then that variable. So this will reset it to 0. If I do that, let's write some words. Copy paste, copy paste, copy paste, copy paste. There's only 20. Oh, there we go. It got it. That's good. It seems to be 20%. The teacher caught you plagiarizing. Now you have to start again. But look, it didn't change this. Odd. So it definitely set words to 0, but I also want to update the label. If you have stuff that you need to update, then it's easiest just to do it at the end of the method, so it'll run no matter what. It will run in this part of the if statement, it'll run if this part of the if statement happens, it'll run no matter what, because we've got it at the end there. So now I'll write a word, copy paste from the internet, can do it a few times. Teacher caught me. Oh no. 0 words. Okay, so in this chance here, 80% though, you get 100 words for free. Equals words plus 100. For debugging, I'm going to make this 10,000 just because it'll make things easier to debug if I have to sell an essay or something. Oh, awesome. Oh, no. Better remember to change that to 100 because the game needs it to be 100. All right, this one seems to be working now. Sell essay. All right, this one is going to use words and money. Basically, you can sell off some words and you receive money in exchange. So this one uses both global variables. This is how you can say that there are 2 global variables involved. Now, if you have less than 100 words, then I want to show an error, because to have an essay, this one here costs you 100 words, so I want to check first that you actually have 100 words. Maybe the title can be need words, and the message here could be you need to write 100 words before you sell an essay. This is a very good example of validating user input. So if you need to validate user input, it's a good idea to show a message to say what the error is. Put it in an if statement, so the error only shows if the input is bad. And then if I do return, that will end the function here. So it won't do any of the other stuff. Let's test. I'm going to print hello here. So sell essay. So that should not have run the hello. Yeah, it didn't run this code because I need to have 100 words first. Now, if I do have 100 words, then I want to set words equals words minus 100. You know, it's going to cost them 100 words, and they're going to get some money. Money plus 10. And then I need to update labels so that this is actually updated. So let's try. Sell essay. Oops, wrong button. Copy paste from internet. I guess I'm doing copy paste from internet. There you go, get some words. If I sell, there you go, I'll lose 100 words at a time. My money is going up, but I don't have anywhere to display my money. So let's get somewhere to display the amount of money that I have. I've already got something to display how many words, but now I need monies. Just money is fine. So you start with $0. I need a variable to keep track of that, which I have up here. Good. I've got a variable to keep track of how much money I've got. And whenever I update the labels, as well as updating how many words I have, I should also update how much money I have. So the label is called money label. Just to show you, this one here is money label. And I want to set its text, you know, the stuff in it, to be the amount of money that I have. So if I write a word, there you go, no money, copy paste from internet, sell, awesome, I've saved money. You might notice that it doesn't really have a unit. People won't know that this is the amount of money. So we could write money on the left-hand side, or I'll just put a $sign. If I put a $sign at the start, then people will know that this is an amount of money. Teacher caught me. Sell essay. Awesome. Woo! Raking in the cash. All right, that is, I think, it for sell essay. Oh wow, we're smashing through this. Higher button. This does not make any difference, but it just annoys me. I just want that indented 1 and then that indented 2. It'll still work. All right, what's the other thing? Hire a ghostwriter. Okay. Again, actually, first let's write a ghostwriter function. Ghostwriter timer. Actually, ignore that. Get rid of that. I'm just going to put pass and put this in comments so that it doesn't do anything at the moment. All right, so if I hire a ghostwriter, number one, it needs to cost you 100 money, because down here it says hire ghostwriter costs $100. So money equals money minus 100. Remember, I should have done global money because money is a global variable. So I need to say global money. Money equals money take 100. And update labels, just to check that that seems to work. So first I'll get some money. So let's say, there we go. You can probably see why I made it give you 10,000 words, because that makes it easy to test. Hire ghostwriter, awesome. Hire ghostwriter, hire ghostwriter. Oh dear, that's not good. It can go negative. Shouldn't be able to hire ghostwriters if you don't have enough money. So let us, before we do this, have something similar to this to validate the user input. So if they've got less than $100, sorry, words, $100, then I'll show a message saying need money. You need $100 for a ghostwriter. There we go. So this is another example, validate user input. If they've got less than $100, don't let them hire a bloody ghostwriter. Alright, so hire ghostwriter, comes up with an error. You need $100. Sell a couple essays. Still need $100. Yes. Alright. Now, I would like it so that every second the ghostwriter writes another word. So I'm going to need a timer. To make a timer, oh look, I've got this function here. How handy. I'm going to make this, just to check, print hello. And I want this to run after 1 second. So I want window.after. This is how I can run something after a certain amount of time. I do the name of the window, .after. I do how many milliseconds. So this is 1 whole second that it will wait for. And then the name of the function. So this should wait a second and then run the function. I might... To make it a bit easier for me to see that it's working, I'm going to do just a message, blah, blah. Okay, so it should wait 1 second and then run this function and show the message. It's really tedious having to do this all the time, but so it should wait 1 second. Awesome. And show the message. If you want it to run more than once, instead of running once after a second, you want to run it every single second. Then I can copy this here. So it'll run it after a second, and then that will cause it to wait another second and run it again, and another second and run it again, and another second and run it again. And it will run forever and ever and ever and ever. Awesome. Cool. There we go. So it waits a second after showing each warning. All right, but instead of showing a warning, I don't want to do that. How annoying would that be? A warning every single second. I want to give them an extra word. So words equals words plus 1. 2 things I need to do though. I also need to update the labels, otherwise you won't be able to tell that the words are increasing. And this should also be a global variable. What if I didn't have this line? How would I figure out that problem? Good question. I am glad that you asked. Because it doesn't seem to be changing that at all. To diagnose that, I would print words to check that it really is changing words. Oopsie. Write a word. Oh, copy paste print it. Much faster. So this should be printing once per second. Anyway, it doesn't. Let's just update the labels. This should be running. Why wasn't that running? I'm not quite sure. Oh well, let's sell some essays, get some money. Hire a ghostwriter. Yes, a ghostwriter is mad at work. If I wanted to run 10 times a second, then I could do something like this. Maybe I'll put a little comment. I'll put it on this one. Run every 100 milliseconds. If it's not obvious what something does, then it's really important to put a comment to explain what it is. Okay. Yeah. So every second we get 10 words. Neat. I think that's pretty much all of it for the demo. Have I got a good name? The name's still Human Greeter. I should probably call this Essay Idle Game. Is there anything else that I'm missing? I don't think so. Nah, that's all good. So here's our Essay Idle Game. If you want to make this text bigger, you certainly can. Yeah, maybe size, what's a good size? 20, maybe? Okay. Yeah, set a background to be, what's a nice color? White? It's not that nice. Beautiful. And there's our game. All right, so remember this, what was it? This I only changed for debugging, so I'll put that back. And we are done. Have fun making the cryptocurrency investing extension. And don't actually plagiarize your essays because you will get caught. And same with doing this sort of stuff. Not clever. All right, see you next time.